we are going to be setting up my Pac-Man Frog tank. As you guys may or may not know, I recently did finally get my Pac-Man Frog that I've wanted for a really long time. So for the past 5 or 6 days I've had her, I've been keeping her in a temporary 12 by 12 by 18 Exoterra. As you guys remember, it is Bob's tank. The 12 by 12 by 18 Exoterra was never meant to be her permanent home. It was just for the first week that I had her so that I could keep a really close eye on her. So you guys may not know this about Pac-Man frogs, but they are very inactive creatures. They like to hunker down in one hole, they dig under the substrate, and then you may not see them for up to a week at a time. So I knew this going into getting her, so I wanted to keep her in a smaller enclosure for just a week while I had her. Luckily, they don't move around a lot, so they don't need a lot of room. However, I do think that I'm comfortable enough to move her from the 12 by 12 into a 10-gallon aquarium. So today we're going to be setting up that 10-gallon tank, and I thought that I would share that with you guys. All of the items I'm going to be using today in my Pac-Man Frogs tank, I did show you guys in my recent Pac-Man supply haul. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it for you down below. But okay, let's set up the tank. Okay, so here is the temporary tank that she's been in. As you can see, she's in her little hole right there. This Exoterra is a 12 by 12 by 18, and as you can see, she has plenty of room in there because they don't move. They generally just pick a spot and they don't really come out of it. However, I am ready to upgrade her to the 10 gallons, so let's get started. So as you guys can see, I have a clean 10-gallon aquarium here, and the first thing we're going to put in is our Eco Earth. You want to put in enough so that it's deep enough for your frog to submerge in, and you also want to make sure it's really, really moist and damp, but not soaking wet. Okay, so I have a couple inches of the Eco Earth in here, and I think that's going to be good. She'll be able to bury really well in this. One thing to remember is you don't want to take and pack down your Eco Earth. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it light and airy and moist so that your frog can bury easily. Now that the Eco Earth's in there, we're going to go on and make it really, really moist and wet because you want to provide a really, really moist environment for your Pac-Man frog. I'm just using a mister that I got at Petco, and we're gonna mix that water around in the substrate really, really well. You just wanna mix the dechlorinated water in the substrate really, really well so that it's really moist for your frog. Make sure that you're using dechlorinated water. The next thing I'm gonna put in my Pac-Man tank is a clean water dish. You wanna make sure to offer your Pac-Man frog a water dish for soaking. And I got this really pretty heavy duty rock one at Pet Supplies Plus for about $10. It already has some clean dechlorinated water in there, so I'm just gonna leave that in. And I'm gonna put the water dish here in the front corner. The next thing we're gonna put in the tank is this artificial tree. You wanna make sure to give your Pac-Man frog some places to hide and bury so that they feel safe and secure. It's really important to provide your Pac-Man frog with places to hide with fake trees, logs, vines, things like that. They say that if your Pac-Man frog isn't eating, it could be because they don't feel safe, they may not have enough places to hide or deep enough substrate to bury, or they could be too cold. So those are just 2 things to keep in mind. So I'm gonna put this one over here on the cool end of the tank. Then I'm gonna put this little vine over here at the warm end of the tank. I'm also gonna put this cute little rock that my sister painted in there. It says Adventure is Out There, and it has a really cute little camping scene on there, and it's not gonna hurt the frog at all. So I'm just gonna sit that in there as well. The next thing I'm putting in is a little thermometer. This is not the best thermometer in the world. However, I do not have a digital one yet, so I'm just gonna be using this for the time being until I can get a digital one. It is important to always monitor the temperature in your Pac-Man tank, especially if you have a heat pad or a ceramic heat emitter on the tank. And the last thing that we're gonna apply to the tank is the heat pad, and I'm gonna put it on the water bowl end on the outside of the tank, not underneath the tank, because Pac-Man frogs are burrowers, so you don't want them to get burned. If you were to put this on the bottom of the tank, they could overheat and it could burn them. So we are gonna put this heat pad on the outside of the tank and stick it on the side. So I know this is the front of the tank and this is the back of the tank, and this is my water bowl and warm side. So I'm gonna take my heat pad and I'm gonna stick it right here on the bottom side of my tank. I'm gonna make sure to face my heat pad towards the back of my tank and stick it as low to the ground on the substrate as possible so that it not only warms the water dish, but it also warms the substrate back here. So I'm gonna peel off the sticky adhesive layer. Now please remember that these are one-use heat pads, so once you've stuck it, it can't be stuck again. Okay. I went on and got another heat pad so that I can have 2 sides of my tank heated, just to make sure that the frog is getting enough heat. So now it's time to move her into her permanent enclosure. I have my reptile and amphibian safe gloves on, and I'm gonna just gently pick her up and move her into her tank. Come here, baby. I'm gonna gently and carefully remove her and put her in her tank. There you go, baby. Good girl. As you can see, she's kicking up and digging in. She's kicking up and digging in deeper, and she's gonna bury herself completely in here shortly, I'm sure. And she is on the warm end of the tank right now since my heat pad is right here. This corner will all be pretty warm for her. Okay guys, that is it for this Pac-Man tank setup. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Be kind. Bye.